So there was this one time where there was this like commercial on television that was like what a roach is to a fifth grader, and then it was like a roach, like a little cockroach,
right?
And then it was like what a roach is to a seventh grader, and then it was like a marijuana joint.
Whoa.
And then it was like, what does your kid know about things? and so my mom one day, she like pulled me aside and she was like, Aaron, what is a roach?
Oh my God.
And I was like, a bug?
Yeah.
And she was like, okay. And meanwhile, I had never seen that commercial, so like I actually didn't know that like a marijuana butt was a roach.
Right.
So she was like implicating me in something that like wasn't even in my realm of understanding.
It's so funny when parents do that. Like, I don't know when they stopped doing these, but do you remember the "It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are" things?
I remember that slogan, but I don't.
Yeah, just every night at 10 on the dot, like channels used to run that ad, like "It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?" And like, I would always. I mean, I was like a fucking nerdy kid that didn't go out, and so like, I'd be sitting right next to my parents, and my dad would look at me like, I've got a good kid, and I'd be thinking to myself like, I'm a fucking loser. God damn it.
He's a good kid, that one.
He's all right. I like him.
Sometimes.
My dad used to go to my groups of friends and be like, I don't like you. Like, he would just say that to my friends, like, as a joke. And I remember my friend Mark, he used to say, like, Mark, I don't like you, but of all of Don's friends, I don't like you the least.
He said that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's my dad's version of dad humor.
I don't like you the least. Meanwhile, he's, like, permanently scarred for life.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, my friends are like, I already don't have my own dad's love. Why do I have to earn yours?
And then somehow it's like more important.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I always hated it when like my friends' parents didn't like me.
Oh, yeah, it's a terrible feeling. Because you think, when you're a kid, you think adults like just automatically like their opinions matter more.
Yeah.
Because they're adults and they know how the world works and all that. And then you become an adult and you're like, adults are just fucking asshole kids that got bigger. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
Funny story about this game.
Okay.
My dad found it in the middle of an intersection in Florida.
What?
On the ground.
What?
Yeah. And it has like rattlies inside of it.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah. It's like when you pick it up and shake it, it's like...
Yeah, because you found it on the street.
Yeah.
It's a fucking street game.
And it totally works. I used to play it all the time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Can't believe your dad found this on the street. Did he run into the street to get it?
Probably. All right, so
Wow, you know what you just reminded me of that I haven't thought of in a long time?
What?
My dad once risked his life to get me a Giants hat.
Really?
Yeah, I had this giant... Barry, I'll try to find you a picture of me at whatever age in that Giants hat. I had to be like 10 years old. But like, I had this hat that I fucking loved so much. And I stuck my head stupidly out the window while we were driving on the interstate. And of course the hat flies off. And I'm immediately like, my one thing in this world that I loved. So I start crying. And my dad pulled the car over and got out and ran into the middle of the fucking interstate with cars going like 90 miles an hour all around him to get my hat for me.
Man, what a badass.
What a fucking badass dude.
What a dad ass.
Nice.
Because he's a dad.
Oh, I love that guy.
Oh, God.
Avi, you're the best.
And he was like, maybe the traffic could stop, maybe? Fuck.
Oh. Well,
did you have, like, enormous misconceptions about how sex was done when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I just remember we had sex ed like twice in my school. Once was in like first grade when we were way too young to process any of it, and the second time was in like senior year of high school where like most people had had sex 20 times that week. But like, I remember the first grade one, and like, they're like, okay, so today we're gonna talk about sex, and they're like, do you have any questions off the bat? And I just remember this kid Adam was like, yeah, so I know that in order to have sex you pee on the girl, but where do you pee? And meanwhile I was like, yeah, where do you pee?
I gotta know. Can we try it?
Do you remember?
Because I gotta pee.
What was your misconception? Do you remember?
Somebody told me that like having sex was like rolling around
Right.
with a girl,
Right.
just like on the ground.
And that's it. That's all that happens.
Yeah, that was the end.
I mean, it can start that way.
Like tumbling down a fucking hillside. And then when you get to the bottom, it's just like,
Was it good for you?
I guess that was the end for me. Did you have happy Hanukkahs when you were a kid?
Do you mean like Hanukkah Harry, as in like a mascot, or just happy?
Oh, I just mean like
happy Hanukkahs in general.
because it was always kind of like that was the one thing that like we understood about religion when we were kids. It was
Right.
like, you have Hanukkah, ew.
Ew.
Yeah. Christmas is better. Sorry, I spit all over you.
It's fine. Just
I don't know why.
sorry, I spit all over your religion while I spit all over your face. No, it's it was fine. It was like, because I mean, ultimately, the cool thing about those holidays is hanging out with your family anyway.
Oh, okay.
So like,
I'm glad that you have that outlook.
yeah. Well, because like,
Not a lot of people do.
yeah, maybe you're right. But like, so my memory would just be like lighting the Hanukkah candles with my mom and dad and my sister and my dog, and my dad singing Hebrew songs while the rest of us pretended to know Hebrew. That's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, how does it go? It's like, Ma'otu Yeshuati, and then like he would keep going on, and the rest of us would be like, la, la, la. And then you get to the part that you know really well, like, Tikon feelings. You just phase in and out.
We had an au pair when I was a little kid. Do you know what that is?
No.
I don't know the exact definition, but it's like
in the shape of an O.
no au pair, like AUPAIR, I think. It's like a
French pear.
something like that. I don't know if it's exact. I don't know if this is the right definition, but like it was like a 20-year-old girl that like lived with us, like sort of as an exchange student, and just like stayed and lived with my family for a little bit.
She mooched and
She was from Holland. She was fucking awesome.
ate all your food.
Named Lise, and she was staying with another woman who was like mistreating her and being like a bitch. And we were like, "Hey, Lise, how you doing?" And she was like, "Not so good." It was like the sweetest, saddest thing. So we took her in, and she became our au pair. And I was like 8 at the time, and I had a
sweet.
super huge crush on her.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah, 'cause she was like a beautiful blonde girl that was like 22, and I'm 8, and I'm just like, this is a bread I have yet to taste.
Yeah, and she was probably like really nice to you
Super nice.
and like made you snacks and shit, and you're like,
yeah, we're still friends today.
I love your snacks.
Yeah, it's incredible. She's a mom now, but
Wait, so she's like 50 now?
yeah, she'd be like in her mid to late 40s.
Wow, dude.
Isn't that wild?
That's cool.
All I
What
remember,
a legacy.
one thing I do remember about like meeting her was that like, you know when you're like a kid and you like someone and you don't even know what to do, so you just like fucking throw your body like in a crazy way. Like I remember meeting her for the first time, and it was like a snowy day in New Jersey. And my mom was like, "Dan, this is Lise." And I was like, "Hi, Lise! Bye!" And then like I just like ran and took a flying leap into the snow, like face planted, because I didn't know what to do. I just freaked out. I was like, "You're too pretty, and I can't deal."
Okay, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like you just want some reason to impress her.
Yeah, but you have no idea how to impress someone like that. So you're just like, I'll just call attention to myself in any way.
Yeah, I've done that before. I had a crush on a couple girls.
It's like that Eddie Izzard skit where, I mean, I'll butcher this because I haven't heard it in like 10 years, but he's talking about like the difference with guys, with, like young boys, like when they meet a girl they like, and he's like, in my head, I'm like, good day, Susan. I couldn't help noticing the way the sunlight plays off your hair and your oceanic hazel eyes, and I just want you to know that I fancy you, you know? But meanwhile, when you actually meet her, you're like, hello, Sue! Do you like bread? That's so fucking true.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there was a ton of girls. I remember there was this one girl who, my brother did baseball, and then one of his teammates' sisters was like my age, and she was real cute. This was a fucking, like, I was like 8 or something.
Sure.
And I would see her on the playground, and like, I was just like, oh, she's so cute. Oh, I want to make her mine.
I want to make her mine.
Yeah. And then we were playing tag. And she tagged me, and I just like stopped dead in my tracks. It was just like,
human contact from a hot girl.
I mean, the fucking 8-year-old equivalent of hot girl. She was just like,
oh, dude, it doesn't matter. Like,
she's a pretty, I guess.
Yeah, the 8-year-old equivalent is the hottest equivalent ever because, like, oh,
it like sets your standard for the rest of your days.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're just like, when you're a kid, you have no reality to go on with like romance and stuff, so it's all fantasy, you know? And that kind of makes it more like intense in a weird way.
Never thought about that.
Yeah.
You really do have nothing to go on, whereas when you're older, you have like a crippling sense of like, this is just gonna end in horror and shame.
There is no love without pain.
Why would I fancy this woman when I know it'll just end poorly?
I fancy you. I actually did go to New York since the last time you saw me.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I went and saw my family fams.
What did you do there?
I hung out with my mom and my dad.
Oh, that's nice.
And my mom actually told me some sweet stories about my dad that I didn't know.
Oh yeah?
Like the way he took me for a drive, my sister and I, when we were kids, to the salted sea.
Oh.
And my mom was like, that water doesn't look safe. And he's like, no, it's fine. And like my sister and I are swimming around, and like a year later they find out that it was like a toxic waste dump, like chemical
God.
spill.
What?
Yeah. That's my dad.
Wait.
No, don't worry about it.
But you were okay, right?
I'm fine.
You didn't grow a third leg?
No, I mean my thumbs are weird, but I think they were always like that. Yeah, pretty good, right? Another classic Avi moment. No, don't worry about it.
It's fine. I've been around horses my whole life.
Shit, dude.
Yeah.
I always forget that you're like a fucking podunk hick from the backwoods of Florida.
Yep. No, it's totally true.
That is funny.
Yeah.
That like, yeah, you grew up like in a rural Florida environment, and I grew up in the fucking suburbs of New Jersey. And 10 years earlier.
I mean, that's only partially true. Like, I don't know where the fuck this letter is, so fuck it.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. 5 minutes of my life I'm not getting back.
The weird thing about my childhood is that it was trapped between two worlds, right? Like, we lived just outside of...
The Zorglax dimension?
No, the Z-Blocks dimension.
It's just because you said trapped between two worlds.
I grew up, and I was like... I lived in this, like, backwoods town that was, like, across the street from a really nice suburb.
Okay.
So I went to these, like, nice schools and had, like, sort of these... You know, I had a lot of friends that, like... They had, like, nice houses and like, all of the systems and stuff.
Right.
And then I just, like, had nothing. And it was so bizarre to, like, live... And people hated coming over to my house because they had to, like, open the rickety gate to, like, get inside on the dirt road, and they'd have to wash their cars every time they came to my house.
Right.
But they were my friends, so they would do it for me.
It's funny, man. It's weird, like... Do you miss it?
What, living out in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, just your home, like the place where you grew up.
Fuck no.
No?
I mean, I miss my parents.
Right.
But no, not Florida. Florida sucks.
That's... Wow, interesting. Because
I would be fine never going back there again.
wow,
Yeah.
I really loved the place where I grew up.
I'm trying to look for this turtle shell, but
I love New Jersey, man. It gets such a bad rap because most people only see the Turnpike, which is a disgusting, stanky mess. But there's a lot of like beautiful forests and waterfalls and stuff in the wilds of Jersey.
really?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
And it's weird too because like I went to school in Boston and then I immediately moved to New York and Philadelphia and all sorts of different places. And like since I honestly since I left home at like 17 or 18, like I've never had a place that I felt like I was home, you know?
Yeah.
And it's weird because you go back to those places and they don't feel like home anymore because you know so much has changed. But that was what was so cool because this past year I started going to Oregon a lot, and even now, like I mean, because our CD manufacturer, CD Baby, is up there and we're signing those CDs. Like actually, tonight I'm going. After we finish these episodes, I'm getting on a flight and going back up there.
Yeah. Talking about that fucking busy life.
Yeah,
in that earlier episode.
It's crazy. But that's the thing. Like Oregon, for whatever reason, like gave me that feeling for the first time in like what 20 years of like actually being home. You know, and it's such an awesome like thing when you find it. Of course, I can't live there right now, but like it's just cool to like know that you can find that in other places.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, I remember going over to my friend's house after school one day, and he had this. He was like the richer kid in the neighborhood. No, all I was gonna say at the end of that story was,
That's a nice formation.
it is nice. I played this at his house, and I couldn't sleep that night because I was so excited that Nintendo existed. it really was like a moment of like, oh my fucking god, this is amazing.
And then tomorrow I can play it more.
Yep.
And then the day after that, I can keep playing it.
Yeah. Cause
That's how I get when I'm like, nice.
Oh, you can't pick them up and carry them.
No, not in this one.
I remembered something just now.
When I'm medicated on my my ADD medicine.
Yeah, your anti-dir medication.
Hey, want to hear a funny story from last night?
From childhood?
Well, there are plenty of those, which you were telling me, which I'm sure you cannot repeat on this show.
What?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Note to self.
What, the one where I jerked off 4 feet from a friend's face?
Wow! Okay, I guess you can tell that story.
Yeah, why not?
Why don't you tell that story, Aaron?
I want to.
Oh, well, alright. Well, you're just gonna fucking cock tease everybody like that?
Well,
by
because
throwing out that one nugget of incredible information?
If I tell that story
Uh-huh.
on the show, which, by the way, I think I may have already,
Really?
but
I do not recall.
if I tell that story on the show, it's really obvious what friend it is.
Oh, I
and then
see.
he's gonna know, and I don't know if I want him to know.
Maybe he knew this whole time.
Well, the only reason you know about this story is because there were similar stories being told by members of The Office.
Oh, dear.
Nowhere near as weird as mine.
No, we were all sharing, like, some embarrassing...
Yeah, like childhood stories. And then
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I jerked off 4 feet from my friend's face.
Yeah, and it was like, I heard the screeching car sound, like,
Yeah.
everything comes to a grinding
Well, you
halt.
literally walked in, like, as I said that.
Yes, I did.
Like, the story was ending, and I was like, yeah, so I jerked off 4 feet from my friend's face. And then you were like, what?
I'm sorry, can we take a step in the Wayback Machine for
But
a minute?
I had a friend, I stayed over at his house a lot.
Uh-huh.
His room was large, and so whenever I slept over, they would bring a cot in for me to sleep on.
Right.
And
Was his face large? Because that's the only way you could have an
no.
excuse.
It was very close.
Okay.
And I was a growing boy.
Yeah.
I was just hitting the adolescence.
The puberty.
And I just couldn't. I was like, I have to jerk off. And he was already asleep, so I jerked off in the cot, and I didn't think it was a big deal. I was like, whatever, I'll clean my underwear in the morning or something.
You didn't think it was a big deal.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I was a fucking kid. I just wanted to jizz.
Yeah. You know what, Aaron? We all have that feeling, but sometimes You gotta pick and choose your spots.
I know, but I don't know. I just had to. I was a tiny child.
Okay.
I'm not like that anymore.
Yeah.
But,
well, I hope not, because I sleep over your house sometimes.
Damn it. But so I J-O'd, I went to sleep, I woke up, and I realized, like, the sheets were white.
Oh, no.
There was just a giant fucking, like, many stains on the sheets and the sheets above it, just all around my crotchal area.
Yes.
Clearly not a pee stain.
Yep.
Clearly a jism stain.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, what do I do? I don't know how to do laundry. I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah.
So I just left it with the thought of, like, well,
well,
his parents are gonna see this and just be like, well, he jizzed in the bed. He just straight up jizzed. Just coated the inside of that sheet with his little boy jizz.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. So that's my. And my friend was just sleeping very close, and that was the whole time I was like, oh god, I hope he's not awake.
Michael.
I mean, it was a quiet room, and it was, you know, if you were awake, you would just hear, like,
Jesus
you know,
Christ.
so
We don't want you. We don't want Aaron to stay over anymore.
no, I was many times after that.
Really?
Oh, fuck, maybe. Actually, I don't even know.
Was
Maybe
that the last time?
Yeah, well,
Oh, dude, did you bring your sleepover career to an abrupt halt?
I don't.
On account of that jasm?
I don't want to. Because even then it's a little vague who it is. There is a detail that's also sort of important that I don't want to share because it totally betrays who it is.
Okay.
100%.
I jizzed on his name tag, which was Jeff.
It's something about
the
a
house.
family member.
Oh, okay. He had a really hot sister.
No.
Okay. Really hot mom. Yep.
No, that's not.
Woo!
No.
Next time on Game Grumps.
No.
Yeah. Let's get you out of this.
No.
Because this isn't.
It had nothing to do with that.
This isn't going to end well at all.
No, you're making shit up now.
Yeah,
That's not what I was gonna say, by the way.
Of course it wasn't.
I just thought it was funny because
Yeah. That's just the plot from Grandma's Boy.
well, because I said no.
Yeah.
And then to say no again, in my mind, I was like, oh, this is gonna sound like I'm saying yes.
Oh,
but then
Laura.
not saying anything made me sound like yes. Fuck!
Oh, Lara Croft action figure, you're so hot.
Hello.
Hello, welcome back. Aaron has decided to divulge the factoid, which will clearly give away which friend's face he jizzed near.
Well, only
at the
to
age
the
of
friend. Like, nobody's gonna fucking know who this guy is.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
But so he's the thing that was funny about it and sort of covers my ass a little bit is that he's gonna be like, oh shit, it was me. His dad was a urologist.
Oh, okay.
So the two things about that: A, like, nocturnal emissions are a thing.
Right.
By the way, if this is your first episode joining in, I told a story about how I jizzed in my friend's bed.
This is not their first episode joining in. It's like Mario Maker 149.
I don't know. Maybe somebody's like, let's watch the new episode of Game Grumps. Anyway, my friend's dad's a urologist, and I showed him my dick.
Right.
Okay, so anyway,
You showed him your dick?
well, that was the second part.
What?
So,
What kind of sleepovers were these?
so I had a goddamn fucking just start running, you stupid Monty Mole piece of shit. So so I had a what I thought was a wart on my dick.
Genitalia.
Yes, and I was worried about it because they say check for lumps.
Not so worried that you stopped jerking off.
And it was a very pronounced. This is a separate story.
Oh, well, excuse me.
It was, but it was
This
very.
was days later.
It was very pronounced, and so I knew his profession, so I asked him privately. I was like, "Hey, I've got this thing on my wiener. I'm a kid. I can't afford to go to the doctor.
Did you
like,
say wiener?
Can you help me?" No, I said like it's on my penis.
Oh,
or
well,
something like that.
should've said wiener.
Well, that's the thing is I wasn't cockshy at that time because the D Club existed.
Oh, of course, yes.
So-
the D Club, if this is your first episode of Game Grumps, was the club where Aaron and his friends in high school would get together, show their dicks, helicopter their dicks around, and it's been confirmed by Aaron's wife, Susie, who he was seeing at the time. Whew!
So anyway, so it was just funny because like when I told him that, he was very like, do you want to? Do you need a minute? Do you want to go in the other room? And I was like, no. And I just like pulled down my pants and
Oh my god.
And he was like, okay. And
Well,
so I was not at all cockshy because of the D Club, and that was a very good benefit. And then he checked me out and he was like, no, it's called a sebaceous cyst.
oh yeah. You can
Yeah.
get those pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, and he was like, it's not harmful, and I could actually cut it out if you wanted. And I was like, no.
Ouch.
Yeah. He's like, I could just make a little incision and take it right out. And I was like,
Yeah, I've got all my stuff in the kitchen. So.
he did.
He did. Oh man. Oh,
he was like, I
man.
can cut it out for you, and I was like, no,
Woof.
don't worry about that.
What a helpful neighborly dad.
I don't want my dick to bleed all over your house.
Yeah. I only like to jizz in your house. I don't like to actually have other
Yeah,
fluids
this is
happening.
specific fluid that I only want secreted in your house.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Well, that friend is like, oh my god.
I don't know. He probably doesn't even fucking watch Game Grumps.
Probably not.
None of my
but,
friends care to watch Game Grumps.
Yeah.
The only person that watches Game Grumps is my brother and my mom.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I'm sure they're happy with these stories too.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Sorry, mom.
Yeah, that's a doozy. Don't you love, like, I loved it the most when I was a kid, and not before I moved to California where there was no fucking snow. But, like, don't you love, like, big fat snowflakes that, like, are, like, fully formed crystals that, like, fall from the sky and you, like, catch one in your tongue? Did you ever have that? You went from Florida to fucking
I
California.
was gonna say, I know exactly what you're talking about, Dan.
Have you never lived in a snowy place?
No. Well, I lived in New Hampshire when I was very young,
That's pretty snowy.
but I was so young that I don't really remember.
Oh, man.
All I remember is that I stepped on my dog, and my parents got really mad at me. Because he was like sleeping under a table, and I didn't know he was there.
This is a different place than I thought this would
So I
go.
just stepped on my dog, and he went like, oh! But he was kind of an asshole, so I didn't feel so bad.
Oh,
And I
wow.
guess that's why I felt more bad. Is because I didn't feel bad that I stepped on this fucking dog.
Wow, pretty harsh. Bye, Patrick. He's like, whatever the fuck you were saying. I'm out of here.
I don't give a shit, see ya!
Look at this beaker-looking
He
motherfucker.
looks like a penis that's been cut down the side.
Oh, Aaron, that's the worst thing you could have said. With tiny eyes at the end. Yeesh.
Ouch.
Oh man, did your dad? Did you ever play Little League baseball or anything like that?
Yeah.
Was your dad like the one? No. He wouldn't have been.
No.
He's too cool.
My dad's really quiet.
There's always the one dad who's like, come on,
Yeah.
get your shit together. I don't know if I ever told you this before, but like, I was not a sportsman growing up. Not a very athletic kid.
No!
I know. It's a mind-blowing shit. Yeah, so I was in Little League. I played Little League baseball, and I played in the outfield, which is where you play when you have no fucking talent.
Yeah.
And you throw like a girl.
And you just stand around all like, my legs hurt.
Yeah, actually, so they put me in the outfield. Actually, I threw worse than a girl. There were plenty of girls on our team who threw amazingly well, much better than I did. And so, like, my dad has, like, home video of, like, it goes to me in the outfield, and I'm just standing around. Because no kid is strong enough to hit, like, the baseball that far.
Yeah.
So you just stand there the whole game. And then he, like, brings the camera back to, like, the pitcher and the action. And then after the pitch, he goes back to me, and I'm like on my knees making dirt castles in the fucking ground. And you can hear my dad turn to my mom like, I don't think Dan is going to be an athlete. My question was, have you ever been caught jacking off?
No.
No? Me neither.
My
then.
dad walked in on me watching lesbian porn, which I never watched.
Really?
It was just like just happenstance where it was like that girl's hot and that girl's hot.
Yeah, what's
Cool.
the problem?
So I just like was watching it. I didn't even have I wasn't even like my pants weren't unzipped or anything. I just was like watching it just because I was curious, I
Yeah.
guess. And my dad walked in and was like, oh, no, all right, okay, all right. And
That's such a parent's move, like, oh, whoa, all right, well, it's natural. It's like, oh, you've just made this 1,000 times more awkward than it would have been.
But for some reason, like, I was such a puss back then, but like, for some reason, that was the thing that made me like man up. And I was just like, I gotta talk to my dad about this. I got it. Like, so like immediately afterwards, I like got up and went to the office, and I was like, Dad,
Tell me about sex.
this is you know, it's really weird for me too. Like I don't know.
Wow, no way.
I don't know. And he was like, dude, I don't even care. And I was like,
Just stop talking.
yeah, I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So that was that.
Yeah, your dad's cool as shit. My dad's awesome, but like he's from Israel, and he always is like Dan. Like he has these. There were just certain things that he didn't feel super comfortable talking about, and sex was definitely one of them. And so like the quote unquote talk for us was we used to take these Christmas trips down to Atlantic City because you know Jews get really bored on Christmas. So
Isn't it a tradition to like go to Chinese food?
yeah. Because the Chinese also don't celebrate Christmas. So like Jews go get Chinese food, and like we go down Atlantic City. In fact, so my dad and I would go to Atlantic City, and like it would just be Jews and Chinese people. So like the fucking the buffets in the restaurants would be all like pork fried rice and hamantaschen. And so like thank God the beeping can stop.
Quick.
So we were driving down, and my dad the whole time we would drive down Atlantic City, we would just listen to music. Like there was no talking, just because it was a nice ride and we could chill out. But there was one time, and I'm like 17 at this point, so like the sex talk was not an issue. It was like nothing I didn't already know. And my dad just like turns the music down, which he never did, and I was like, uh-oh, what's happening? And he was like, Dan, do you know about sex? And I was like, yeah, I know. He was like, okay, and then like the fucking music went back on, and we never talked about it again. That was my how to be a man talk. Okay, cool.
Before I smoked weed when I was a little kid, like the code for do you smoke weed in my neighborhood and probably other neighborhoods too was, are you cool?
Are you cool?
Yeah, it's like, hey man, are you cool? I was like, yeah, I'm super cool.
Yeah, I'm ultra mega cool. My
Wait.
mom says I'm cool.
Are those drugs?
Is that Mary Jane?
Oh man, we had no idea. We were such a nerdy bunch of like Dungeons and Dragons playing kids, and like I remember my friend's first day of college, like someone asked him if he had a bowl, like from the next fucking room over, and he went and grabbed Tupperware. It's like, oh, good job, Chris. You nailed it.
Yeah. So when I was 7, I was listening to 9 Inch Nails.
Oh yeah,
The
me
fucking
too. Actually.
unedited album version.
Yes. It's like singing like, well, the devil wants to fuck me in the back of his car.
Yeah.
And like I'm like my grandma's walking in the other room. I'm like, bitch, just gonna turn this down.
I remember it was like there was this one moment where like we were listening to the edited version of it that was like, I wanna you like an animal.
Oh yeah, that's the second album.
And then like I guess my parents were like reaching because they were like what do you think that word they left out was? And I was like, it's the F word. And they were like, how do you know that? And I was like, it's the only one that makes sense contextually.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh God.
Yeah, kids are smart, man. It's the funny. I learned to curse from my dad, because I'm actually like a huge football fan. Like, people always think I'm like Ross, and everything is just like sport ball. Like, no, I like sport ball.
Yeah.
No, but like I fucking love football. And my earliest memories when I was like 4 is of watching the Giants games, the New York Giants games with my dad. And so like I love that team, but like they were also terrible when I was a really young kid. So my dad would like get pissed and he'd try not to curse. He'd try to catch himself. So like the Giants would blow it and he'd be like, "Oh shucks." It was the best. It was the best. Oh, fun! It was so good.
Oh, that kind of reminds me of this. This is like my stuff my dad would always do. We had this like laundry basketball hoop in our room. So like you throw away laundry, you throw it in the basketball hoop. Very effective. So he would always run into it in the dark because it like jutted out from the door.
Right.
So he would like put us to bed and he'd put us to bed and he'd be like, "Night, boys. I'll see you tomorrow." And then he like softly walks out, and you just hear like, "Damn it!"
Oh, it's so great. Like doing prop falls and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, so great. There was a fly. There was like a little fruit fly once when I was a kid, and like it was kind of like on my like desk, and then it flew onto the floor, and I was just like on the floor looking at it, and I was like, "Hello, little fruit fly." And then my dad came in and he was like, "Hi, Don," and he like stepped on it and killed it accidentally.
Did you
And
cry?
I cried. I cried like fucking crazy over a fruit fly.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, and I'm like, murderer!
Aww.
Yeah. So that's the degree to which I could not deal with animals getting hurt.
Yeah, I had a little roach in my bathroom named
Smoke it.
his name was Charles.
Roaches are cuter if you name them. Like I had one in my apartment in Philly, and it was huge, and we just came to an understanding that I wasn't gonna deal with it, and it was just gonna live on the wall. And it wasn't in my apartment; it was like outside the door in the hallway. And I named it Kevin, and after I named it Kevin, like we got along a lot better. No, like I got shamed into never stealing anything like at like 4 years old, because I was in an airport and I wanted to buy this like grape flavored chapstick. Yeah, so there was just this chapstick in an airport that I totally wanted, and my mom was like, "No, we're not getting that for whatever reason." And I was like, so I just stole it and then like pretended to find it like underneath the chair like later at a different airport. I was like, "Wow, here's that thing I wanted. That's weird." And my mom was just like, "You suck." She was cool about it, but she just like was very unimpressed, like in the way parents get when they know when they want you to know that they're unhappy with you.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say it out loud, but you know you fucked up. And I never stole anything after that.
Wow.
Yeah,
just the guilt alone made you.
Oh, dude, Jewish guilt. Fucking, that'll squash a career in criminality faster than you could possibly imagine.
Jewish guilt.
Oh, it's powerful.
Well, was she just give you the eye for the rest of the day or
Like,
something?
well, okay, I hope you enjoy that chapstick. I mean, you earned it. Like, oh, God!
You earned it.
So bad.
That's funny. It's funny how effective that is too, because like, you would think that there would be some scenarios where that would backfire, and it's like, yeah, I did earn it.
No, like, when your parents are mad at you, you can at least be mad back. But when your parents are disappointed in you, it cuts so much deeper.
Yeah. I think that's what I was always afraid of as a kid, just being disappointing.
Yeah. Oh, when I have kids, dude, I'm gonna be disappointed in them 24/7. Shouldn't have said it like that. I guarantee.
Yeah, just every day they're like, "Look at what I did, Dad! I put a lot of time and effort and love into it."
Put it on the fridge, I guess.
Fuck.
I've told you I don't have like actively working sweat glands, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I do remember that. Doesn't make it any less weird now.
Yeah, no, it's like
You are practically a freak.
they do work. I just have like malfunctioning sweat glands, so I really don't sweat unless I'm super crazy hot, and then like even then I just glow. I glow a little.
You glisten.
Yeah. So what actually happens is I have fucking heat strokes and I almost die.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The first time it happened was when I was a little kid, and my dad, we were walking through Hershey Park together, and it was like a blazing hot day, and so like everybody's sweating except for me, but my body temperature is like 105 degrees or whatever, and like fever temperatures.
Yeah.
But I was always one of those kids that like I never wanted to bother anyone, so if like something was bothering me, I just would kind of like hold it in.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And so finally I was like, I don't feel so good. And my dad was like, "We drove hours to get here, you're fine!" You know, like not in a mean way, but just in a like, whoops, he didn't know he was killing me. And and everything went white. It was the spookiest thing. Like I lost my vision completely.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like, it was what like people describe in like early forms of epilepsy when they don't like actually have a seizure, but they lose like vision.
and then like I just started shivering, and we went back to the hotel, and I got like an insane fever of like 100, whatever's very dangerous, like 103, 104 degrees, something like that. And like my mom was super scared, and it was just a good family trip to Hershey Park. It was just a good time.
A great time.
But I survived, and my dad, much like he always did whenever he had a parenting snafu, took me for pancakes, and all was well.
All was good.
My vision returned.
Oh yeah, didn't you say you have like a PTSD with pancakes?
No. It's whatever the opposite of post-traumatic stress disorder would be. It's like the cure-all.
When you get pancakes, you're like,
yay! You're like, oh, all the things that bothered me. Even my like deep existential fears are soothed by this boysenberry short stack. There's a party over here! There's a party over there!
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm pretty weak, bud.
Whoa! Damn! The kiddie pool?
Getting the party going! Getting the party going! You suck. Getting the party going!
How about fuck that guy?
Yeah, right? I'm a little fucking surprised.
All right.
Oh, you're going back?
Yeah, dude. Fuck him. You think I'm just gonna walk away from that shit? It's like, why do you manage the kiddie pool? And I just have my head down, like, oh, I guess the kiddie pool is good enough for me.
Oh, dude. That's the funny thing. That's the thing I like the most about being an adult. I remember I was on like some kind of like slide thing when I was a little kid, and like there were older like high school kids going, and the dude running the amusement park was like, "Sorry, son, you're too small to be on this." And like one of the douchey like older kids was like, "Yeah, get the kids out of here." And like the older girls were like kind of giggling, and I was like, I felt like super like hot and ashamed.
Oh
and
yeah,
sad.
like really emasculated.
Yeah, I just like remember putting my head down and walking away like, oh, I guess. But the cool thing about being an adult is like now I would turn to that guy and be like, fuck you! Why don't you suck a dick?
You know what about that?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself!
You're the one who's an asshole!
And the girls would still be giggling.
Yeah, totally. That's what it is, man. People always reminisce about like how great it was to be a kid, but being a kid is fucking hard sometimes and not fun. And you get dragged a lot of places you don't want to go. You're like, oh, like all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, so, I don't know.
Yeah. Get the kids out of here.
Maybe get the kids out. Oh god, I can still go back to that place emotionally and remember how bad I felt.
Oh, dude.
Like, it's amazing.
I've told this story before, but
Okay.
Fuck.
Maybe the yellow is a compromise
Yeah, I
between
think
speed and
so.
turning.
The moment that is for me is that I went. There was a ice cream truck guy.
Okay.
And I like took change out of whatever jar was in the house to get some ice cream.
Yep.
And I paid with like a Canadian quarter instead of like a real
Which look
quarter.
exactly like regular
Yeah,
quarters.
exactly. They're like the same size. I just like grabbed it based on size.
Right.
And then he was like, do you know what this is? Like he was being a real jerk about it. I was like, do you see this? And I was like, what is that? And he was like, do you see this? Do you see what this says? Read this to me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I was like
chiding you?
Yeah, and I was like, it says Canada. And he was like, yeah, this does not work.
Over a fucking quarter?
Yeah.
What a dick.
And he was like, I give this to you anyway, but don't do this again. And I was like,
fuck you.
go die.
Yeah. you know.
But as a kid, I'm like, okay.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, woo.
Yeah. Shine.
Fucking yellow bloops.
Right.
That's the way to go.
See, and now, like, all these years later, that story gave you the power to succeed at Super Mario Sunshine's bonus game.
Fuck this guy. This guy's fucking representing the fucking.
How about some water?
Shit. Fucking stuff. It's like, stop!
Stop! I'm drowning!
Stop!
What if you just drowned standing up? Like. That dude who sold you the ice cream, I bet he went home and got beaten by his wife. I bet he's that type of guy. And he was just, that's why he was taking it out on kids.
Oh.
Yeah, like his life sucks.
Wow. I just realized, no one's read me a story in like, I don't know, 25 years?
You never heard an audiobook?
No.
Oh, dude.
But like,
It's the best.
it just made me sad. I was like, my mom used to read me stories all the time.
I'll read you a story.
Dude, my mom used to read me this one story that like I memorized, and one night I was like, let me tell belong to you. She was like, what? And I like spouted the whole thing word for word. She was like, I think I need to buy you new books.
Dude, if we ever take a really long road trip and you're driving, I'll fucking read you a book.
That'd be wonderful. I don't remember what the hell the book was about or anything. I just remember it started like, tucked snugly beneath the forest leaves or something like that. I still remember the first fucking like, I remember the first 4 words of my bar mitzvah thing that I had to like sing. Oh God.
What were they?
It's not gonna sound good with this song, but it's like, Ko Amar Adonai Tzivaot. That's all I remember.
Really?
But I mean like, my Torah passage, like you know what the Torah is, right?
Yeah, that's like the Jewish Bible.
Yeah, more or less, yeah. It's these sacred scrolls, basically. It's the Torah written on scrolls.
Yeah.
And like, they're very protected, and like, they put coverings over them, and they'll have like a silver like crown on certain ones of them, and they're all different crowns.
Jesus.
And they're
cool.
And they're behind a curtain too. So when I would go to temple as a little kid, the curtain would be closed all the time, and they'd pull the curtain back, and you'd see them, and it was like I remember like the first time, and I'm not a religious person, but like I remember like seeing them as a kid and being like, wow, like reverence, you know, like they just look like really important.
So they're like somewhere.
Oh, every temple has a Torah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like it's essentially the Hebrew Bible, but like written by hand by rabbis, like, and blessed, you know, like it's super sacred. And in medieval times, it would take like your life was like transcribing that shit.
Damn.
Yeah, so it was intense.
That's some fucking like fantasy shit.
It's very interesting, man. Like it's an old religion. I think it's the first monotheistic religion. Maybe not. It's one of the first, certainly. So what a bar mitzvah is that's the rite of passage when you're 13, and you have to memorize basically and read and sing in a certain way a passage from the Torah. And it's just like, I don't know what the selection process is. Oh, Persian.
Baby.
Oh. Anyway, I'll just finish that super fast. Like, the part of the Torah that I had to read was like the second longest that you can be assigned. So I just had to study it with my mom for like months and months and months. And I had to do it in Israel too.
Oh God.
Yeah, in front of like all these like super elderly Jewish guys that like were like old school Israeli, and they like, you could hear like the murmurs when like they found out like that a kid from America who didn't speak Hebrew was going to be doing it, and like it was really cool because I did it well. And my granddad on my Israeli side, who I never really knew that well, like that was the one time he was really, really proud of me.
Aww.
Yeah, and he was very moved, you could see, because he was like a Holocaust survivor. So to like see his grandson from another part of the world like maintain the traditions that he almost died for, you know, like it was a big deal for him.
Damn, dude.
I know. This got heavier than I meant it to, but like, well, I don't even know where I was going with it. Oh yeah.
Singing at your bar mitzvah.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was just that like, after it was over, I like almost fainted, like walking out of the temple, because I was like, I didn't realize it, but I was so nervous, and like, I guess I was too nervous to eat and everything, and as soon as it was over, like my body just like shut down.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy experience. But you only got to do that shit once. Whoops. Oh, Mr. Mart.
That's kind of how I felt when I danced in front of Joey Fatone of NSYNC.
Yeah, the sacred rite of traditional Jewish passage and dancing for Joey Fat One. Probably about the same. Life is a highway. I wanna ride it all night long. Gimme, 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 yeah!
Does he really say that?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh my god, I used to have the you just reminded me. I used to have the CD single of that song back
Really?
in 1991.
It was the EP?
No, just the
Just the single?
yeah, just the song and the B-side.
Whoa.
And
What was the B-side?
I can't. You think I fucking remember the Life in the Highway cassette B-side? Oh no, it was CD. It was CD. Because my mine like had a scratch in it, and it used to skip like right at that gimme thing.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, I wanna ride it all night long. Gimme, 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 and it like made me laugh so much, and my dad would get so pissed. He's like, Don, what is that noise?
Gimme, 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 gimme.
It like would never get to the yeah.
Man, I feel like I've never actually like heard that song.
Really, it was everywhere.
Oh God.
At a certain time in history.
Well, I don't think I was.
Alive
Yeah.
or
that
cognizant.
Might have been the case.
What was your dad's joke about like something was red? He was like, your ass.
Oh yeah. Whenever I was like, I like a red car, he's like, your butt's gonna be red in a minute.
It's such a dad joke. I love it. Oh, it's so good.
Look at that red fish. Your butt's gonna be red in a minute. It's like, why? Did I say something
Yeah.
bad or?
No, you just gave me a window of opportunity to smack your ass.
He never spanked me. Though.
No, my dad neither.
He hit my brother once, and it was just like, no, never again.
Oh, that's what happened with my dad and my sister. Like, he didn't actually hit her. He just like gave her like a spank, and she was like, my butt's bleeding. Jen, I'm sorry I told that story.
My butt's bleeding.
Yeah.
Was it?
No, of course not.
I don't know. Maybe your dad was like vicious.
No way. He's a gentle lamb. But like, I guess she was just being like super over dramatic.
My butt's bleeding.
She might have actually used the word tushy, which is the best. The best of all butt monikers.
My tuchus is bleeding.
My tuchus. We never said tuchus, although we are a very Jewish family.
Are you?
Well, I mean, not stereotypically Jewish, but we're all Jews.
Did you have hardcore Chinookas?
We're a big old bunch of Jews. No, you know what our Hanukkah was? It was putting down some tinfoil on the stove, putting down the menorah, lighting 8 candles, and singing with my dad. And that was it.
I had a ton of goldfish growing up as a kid, and
You would just seethe looking at them.
just all the time. They were so gross.
Stringy fish dumps.
Oh my God, my first fish, Sarah, we had her for like 3 years, and like an absurdly long time for a goldfish, and I was super sad when she died. So I asked if my mom could drive me down to the pond in the middle of town, so I could like let her go. And so like we put the dead fish in a doggy bag and went down to the fucking pond, and I'm at the corner of I'm at the edge of the pond trying to dump out the fish, but like all the water pours out and the fish is like dead and stuck to the edge of the bag. So I'm like shaking it while my mom is like laughing uncontrollably from the car. And I'm all sad.
You're like, how can you be so insensitive?
Oh, I didn't know she was laughing until years later when she told me.
That's really funny.
Yeah, she played it really cool at the time. She was like, "Is everything okay, Dan?" Oh my God.
Is everything
Yeah.
okay?
It's your fucking dumbass fish. Back with her ancestors. After that, they just got flushed down the toilet.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Couldn't put you through that heartache again.
No. Dude, I mean, or they just got fucking killed. Like we had one fish we called the Terminator that like devoured 5 of our other fish.
Was it pretense a shark?
It's like a great white shark stuffed into a bowl on my parents' kitchen counter.
Terminator.
Terminator. It's like unhinging its jaws, like. Arr!
Yeah, that's great. That's good.
Pretty wonderful times.
I had a fish once.
Really?
Yeah, it died.
They do that. That is like their favorite hobby.
I've never been so happy. Oh my God. In my life.
Go.
Fucking the day I was born, nah.
Nope.
My first kiss, nah.
Nope, not even close.
My first ejaculatory fluid, nah.
Maybe. Oh, no.
It hurt, man.
Your first?
Yeah,
Really?
dude. It fucking hurt.
Really?
Yeah. I was in pain.
What?
Yeah. I was jacking it in the shower.
This feels strangely sacrilegious to talk about shower jacking
Why?
while playing fucking
Kirby's Epic Yard.
Yeah.
But with this arch, I could see a rainbow anytime.
All right. Then tell me the jack-off story.
I don't know. I was jacking my wiener
Right.
in the shower and it hurt.
Why'd you
I think
continue?
I might have done it too rough.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You do get fucking way into it when you're young.
I didn't know how to do it though.
What do you mean you didn't know?
I wasn't doing it in the proper, like the fucking like
Oh, actually, I was.
Anglo-Saxon.
Whoa! I was wrong too for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Would you care to divulge how you jacked your wee?
What? Yeah. I like when you rub your hands together as if to create friction.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what I did around my dick.
I sort of did that.
It was wrong though. It wasn't the right way. And then when I figured out the right way to do it, I was like, "Oh my God! Has anyone else figured this out? This is so much better. I should write a book about this. The world must know."
Dear book! God damn!
Meanwhile, most monkeys in zoos have figured it out by the time they're 2. Oh dear.
I grabbed it and did like Indian burns.
Oh no, that
It
sounds
like
painful.
twisted like a fire hose.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for a super personal question?
Okay.
Did you ever injure your neck trying to suck your own dick?
No. But that doesn't mean I didn't try.
Yeah. I fucking had one day in high school where I wore a neck brace.
Oh my God! You did not.
I did, man. I did. It was the first time. Because when you're an adult, like, your shoulders and your neck hurt all the time, and you just get used to it. But, like, the first time I ever, like, genuinely hurt my neck was fucking trying to make that magic happen. And I'm there in, like, just trigonometry class, just thinking to myself, like, God damn it. I'm so stupid. I'll never try that again. I tried 2 weeks later and hurt myself again.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God!
Because you're so fucking tantalizingly close.
Usually it's the rib cage that hurts.
Oh, that's probably true too.
Like if you
I-
eliminated your ribs, you'd be
I
able
feel
to
like
do it.
every guy must try that at one point in their life, right?
course.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Of course.
That makes me feel better. Cause some of my friends were like, "That's gay. That's totally gay. You're a dick sucker," and I'm like. Well, it's not gay to give yourself a hand job literally every day. Every day. We all do it
And
every
you like
day.
look at it and admire it sometimes.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, looking good, dick.
Same as usual. I get fatter, you stay the same.
Oh, the only thing I wanted to say before was, I reminded myself of a story of when I was like maybe 3 years old or 4 years old. My parents took me to the Qumran caves in Israel, which are these really, really like thousands of year old caves where I think like the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. But I mean, super fucking old. And we were like admiring them from a distance. It was the first time I'd ever been to Israel, and I turned to my dad. He was like, "Aren't these caves amazing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I shoveled them. I made the caves." And he was like, "Did you?"
Whoa.
Wow.
Really?
I'm so proud of my son.
I shoveled them?
Yeah, I was like, I did. I made those.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
We're trying to take credit for the fucking cave that's been there for like millions of years.
The Qumran caves. Yes. Yup. 4-year-old Dan did them.
Wow, nice work.
You're welcome.
Everybody.
Jewish faith.
Dude, now we'll be
People
able
of
to
the-
trace it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wikipedia wouldn't lie, except for that one time when I told that story on Grumps that I told my parents I dug the Qumran caves in Israel, and someone changed the Qumran caves Wikipedia article to say these caves were dug by Dan Abaddon.
Is that really?
Yeah,
totally happened. I still have the. I screen capped it and showed it to my dad, who died. He fucking loved it. However, you should not do graffiti on Wikipedia. That's not cool. But that one instance made me laugh very, very hard. Because it's all about the history of how they found the Dead Sea Scrolls in there, and like how important they were in the development of human nature and like people in general. It's like, these were dug by Dan Abaddon. Like, you're welcome. The humanity, the Qumran case. When I was 4.
I remember looking up the Wikipedia for Dane Cook, and it was like, an unfunny gaylord or something like that. And it was like, whoa!
Damn, Wiki!
This is not real!
It's very real. You're keeping it too real, Wikipedia. Rapidash?
Rapidash.
Oh, he is badass.
Yeah.
Oh, he sprouts a unicorn
Yeah, he's
horn!
a unicorn.
Oh, I fucking love it.
Oh, snap. I hear many people get seasick. Not me. I live here.
And here's one as a My Little Pony.
Okay, now it's time to turn off the internet. Once it gets My Little Ponies involved.
Do you have any feelings on My Little Pony?
Just whatever, it's a decent show.
I have no feeling one way or another. Mm-hmm. I remember I had one as a little kid, but it wasn't like what it is now. It was a totally different My Little Pony thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just a children's show for girls.
Right. But
it wasn't a phenomenon.
Right, exactly. There was no such thing as bronies. There was none of that. But my sister got like the toy at Toys R Us, and I was like, I need whatever she has. So I walked out with a My Little Pony myself, and I showed it to my friends in the schoolyard the next day, and they were like, "You're an idiot."
Were they like, you're the smartest kid on the fucking playground?
They were like, bro, I can't hear you over how awesome my skip it is. And then there's the part where he's like, I want your love! And you're like, whoa, this is gayer than I remembered when I was a child. And it's awesome. Fuck!
I didn't even
All
know
right, I
what
can't
gay
do it.
was for a while. My parents.
I got called a gaylord on like the in like the recess area of the schoolyard long before I had any idea what it meant.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, so you were already inducted into the Lord of Gays?
Yeah, I was like, dude, I am certainly unworthy of a lordship.
Please, Tommy Haverford.
Yeah. I'm like a gaydmiral at best. That's a gay admiral.
I didn't. You know what? I needed you to say that.
Did you? Okay.
When I was young, really young, my parents were talking about like I don't know, some personality. I don't remember who, but they were saying that it was that he was. They were like, oh, I think he might be gay. And I was like, what does gay mean? And then they were like, you could see, like, I knew even then as a kid.
Yeah, it was something you shouldn't be asking.
And they were like,
wow, you're way better at this than I am.
it's, and they were like, it's when you like to kiss boys. And I was like, oh, so mommy's gay. Like, I actually said that.
Oh, that's funny.
And then they were like, not exactly.
And your dad was like, who the fuck is he talking about? Yeah, that is funny. Well, because adult sexual psychology and child sexual psychology are like night and day, you know? So like, you just don't get it when you're a kid. Good job, man.
Boys better watch out.
Yeah.
Boys better watch out. Talking about adult sexual psychology versus child sexual psychology.
Yeah, they're just not.
Sorry, I didn't mean to distract you.
No,
with my thwompies.
it's the craziness of this. So yeah, you just don't get it. Like, you don't even fully understand what sex is, you know? Like, you just have to assume that other people know what they're talking about while you nod and smile. No, you're good. You're good.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
Twisty jump. Oh, okay. Boy, you are. Just blowing this.
Dude, I don't want to hear your fucking sass, alright?
Hey, ref, get off your knees. You're blowing the game. That was a classic thing that was yelled at my Little League games by, like, the dad who cared too much. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, my Little League basketball games. There would always be, like, the one... I think it was a sister of a friend of mine, Courtney, and she would always just stand up and yell that like super loud.
Get off your knees and stop blowing the game,
It was
you fucking prick!
so funny. Meanwhile, like, and I can't play basketball to begin with, and now I'm trying to like dribble while I'm laughing. It's terrible.
Well, that was... Wait, how old were the kids?
How old are you in 7th grade? Like 11, 12?
Oh, okay. Because I feel like I wouldn't have understood that. I didn't know what a blowjob was then.
No?
Yeah. I wasn't,
You're lost, bro.
Well,
They're the
I
best.
was 12.
Bro, I was getting head when I was like 6 from my babysitter.
I was getting head when I was born because I was born with it.
Sweet. Bro, I came out of a vagina. I came out the pussy with pussy.
Yo, the moment I hit fucking fresh air, my dick hit pussy. You know what I'm saying?
Why don't we get more street cred for that?
So here's my punch story.
All right, go ahead.
My sister used to hit me all the time when I was a kid.
Is that it?
Yeah. No, well, not all the time, but she took a couple swings, and like, I'd never hit her back, and like as we got older, it hurt, you know. I was like, fuck, I gotta do something about this. So like, she hit me a couple times, and then I just like called in my dad, and I was like, Avi, Dennis hitting me, and he was like, so hit her back, and I was like, all right, and I just fucking reeled back and like punched her in the center of her back, like super hard.
Oh.
And she started crying, and my dad was like, not now.
What do you mean not now?
I guess
When?
I guess he meant like defend yourself if she attacks you, but like don't just take a random swing at her. And I felt super bad because she was crying, and I'd never hit anyone again.
Aw.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's amazing because that's like 20 years ago already, more 25 years ago, and I still remember like how bad I felt.
Oh sure, that shit scars.
Yeah, like making your sister cry. You're like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I agree. I would never hit my sister.
You don't have one.
Well, then that settles it.
Well, then it's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember my sister, when we were really young, called me a fool one time. She was like, you fool! And I was like, you sound like an evil genius
Yeah.
right now.
Where the fuck?
Whoa!
Am I supposed to blow something up?
Swimmy Bill. Yeah, you're probably supposed to direct him somewhere.
Yeah, I did that in the last mission.
Boy, he's
But
got angry eyes.
I don't know where I'm supposed to go now. There's fucking bloopers over here.
Hungry eyes. One look at you and I can't disguise. I got hungry eyes. And then the saxophone comes in.
That just sounds like an old woman making a noise.
Yeah, it does.
Eat your peas!
It was it was on the Dirty Dancing soundtrack, and boy, when I was a kid and I would get rides from my friend's mom, that was like the one cassette in her car. So I got intimately familiar with the Dirty Dancing soundtrack.
Were you one who had hungry eyes?
Yes. Also, I had the time of my life. No, I've never felt this way before.
That's awesome.
Yes, I swear.
That's great.
It's the truth.
That's really awesome.
And I owe it all to you.
Please stop talking.
Did you ever, when you were a kid, did you ever like make up your own games with friends? Like really stupid games?
Yeah.
Like I wonder, this sounds like such a fucking old guy thing to say, but I wonder if like kids still do that, you know, just because now they have like the internet and like so many options for games.
Oh, sure.
Like if they just make stupid shit up.
Well, I
Like-
did it because I played a lot of games, you know?
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I wanted everything to be a game.
I remember so clearly, almost. Yeah!
Fuck you!
Bravo.
Bravo! Perfect! Fantastic! Oh, fuck! Oh, God, my penis!
I remember I played this one game with my friend Josh, where like this is what you did when you were bored in the 80s. We had whoa. All right. Thanks for that really
Yeah.
fast story. No, I was gonna say my friend Josh and I made this game where like I was King Stego, which was short for Stegosaurus.
No
And
way.
Yeah, and he was King Iguana, which was short for Iguanodon, which was his favorite dinosaur. And then we just threw shit at each other. And whoever hit the fucking other guy with something got a point. and whoever got 20 points first won and got to be the king dinosaur of the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was like your own little Game of Thrones, but like prehistoric.
We just fucking threw shit at each other. That was the game. And like...
I mean, that's pretty much what Call of Duty is.
I guess so. And
It's
I remember
catch.
I won 20-19. That shit was like almost 30 years ago, and I remember it so clearly because it was so meaningful to me at the time.
Dude, but you know what? That's a
was like,
fucking that's a pretty decent game because like you have feedback, you know? It's like you can't lie.
Well, you could, because like if you got...
If you get pelted, it's like, ow! And it's like, that's 1 point for me.
Right, but a lot of times there'd be like the side pelt where like maybe it hit clothing and like, you
Does
know.
that count? Well, then you have to come up with what the contingencies are.
Yeah, but
It's like, if does a side hit help? Or
when you're 6, you don't... You know, you just lie.
well, that
You
sounds
just
like your fucking problem.
Wow, Aaron, it's not my problem because the game ended a long time ago. I believe he's got like children now and a wife.
Well, his kids are probably playing it then.
You're probably right. I'm gonna be like, "Yo, King Iguana." I'll call him up out of nowhere. I haven't spoken to him since like 1995.
Yeah, yo, we playing again?
Yeah.
Did it have a name?
No, I don't think it did. Throw shit at each other. I think it might have been called King Dinos.
King Dinos?
Yeah.
All right, so if you should just call him up and be like, yo, King Iguana,
Yeah.
or whatever. King Dinos, the playground tomorrow night. And he'll just be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And he'll be like so into
Yeah,
it.
actually, no. I think, judging from his Facebook, he'll probably be something more along the lines of, like, I'm a rabbi now. I can't be throwing shit at you.
Yeah, for old time's sake.
He's a man of God.
Yeah, but, you know, it's like, gets you closer to God to feel pain, right?
Who told you that? My mistress.
Uh-oh.
Yay.
Uh-oh. Scadios.
Spaghettios.
Do you remember those commercials?
Spaghetti-o?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Uh-oh.
Spaghetti-o.
Spaghettios. Do.
Those kind of look like SpaghettiOs. That's a classic commercial of the day.
It is. I always think of SpaghettiOs when my brother,
Oh.
I once threw up. No, it was my brother. My brother once
I
threw
once threw up too.
We had like
It was
a
rough.
big like pillow chair or something that had like fur, and my brother just like started yakking on it when he was really young.
That's a nice story.
And then I just called my mom and I was like, Mom, and she was like, what? And I was like, needs throwing up. Like completely unpanicked.
Ew.
And then we came over and it looked like he was throwing up Cheerios or SpaghettiOs.
That's an amazing story.
Now that's all I think of when I think of SpaghettiOs is his vom.
Cool.
It's true.
I'll remember that always.
I constantly
What the hell am I supposed to be doing right
I
now?
really don't
Oh.
I constantly have dreams about that house.
About
The house that I grew up in.
really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Like I probably had one last week.
Did you ever play Wave Runner? I think that's what it was
You
called.
mean Wave Race 64?
Maybe that's what it is. Like, yeah, I think that's it. Where you're on like jet skis.
Yeah,
and you're,
that's Wave Race.
dude, you're feeling such a good fucking summertime game.
Oh, I love Wave Race. I think that's what made me like my like beach setting.
Yeah.
Whenever there's like a beach setting, I'm like, it makes me so happy.
Yeah, I know.
I have such really good memories. Fun fact about that game.
Lay it on me.
My copy of it was stolen.
What?
Yeah. So
That's
like
not a fun fact at all. It's just a fact.
when I was a child. Wait, what's the mission here? What was I saying?
Someone stole your wave race.
Oh, I stole the Wave Race.
What?
Yeah. So. Oh, was that not clear?
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I was like a poor kid growing up, so I never, it's like I had like one video game for the N64.
Right.
And then this kid like brought his copy of Wave Race, and his like backpack was open,
Right.
and I just fucking ganked it straight up.
Oh no,
And then
dude.
and then he was like showing it off and shit, and then like later, oh my god, it's such a douchey thing. I'm sorry, I don't want to say your name, but I'm sorry.
Right.
I like started showing it off too.
Oh god.
I was like, check out my copy of Wave Race. And he was like, hey,
Oh god.
I can't find my copy of Wave Race. Like, is that one like? Does that just like happen to be mine?
It's
and I
weird
was,
that it has my initials on it.
and I was like, no, it's totally my copy. And he was like, oh, okay.
Oh god. That's so sad.
I know. I'm sorry.
How old were you?
God, it was like, was it elementary school? I think it was.
This was 6 days ago.
And I feel so bad about it now. I just.
Oh yeah.
Did I ever tell the story about how I stole Wave Race?
Yes, I forgot that was Wave Race.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never gave that back.
I wonder if I gotta get in touch with him.
Oh my god.
Because I've been.
You'll do your like Alcoholics Anonymous apology.
Well, I
thing?
actually have one lined up. I just haven't. I should do that. I should do that today, actually.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
No, it was another thing. I traded a kid. So I had a friend, and I think I told this story on Grumps. I had a Japanese Ponyta sticker that was a Pokemon card, but it was a sticker, and so it wasn't a real card. And I was like, this is so rare to my friend's little brother, and he had a fucking Charizard, which is like actually a rare card.
Really?
And so I was like, you should trade with me because this is a rare card. And he was like, wow, yeah, that looks so rare. So I traded it with him, which was a total fucking snake in the grass move, right?
Right.
But I was really young and I wanted the Charizard card.
Sure.
So flash forward to that moment, and I got in touch with the guy whose brother it was, who I was friends with. He was like, yeah, you know, remember when you did the thing with the Charizard? Yeah. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I do remember that. Now I feel super bad about
I
that.
was
'cause
an asshole.
I would never do that ever.
Kids, man.
Yeah, so I went on eBay and I bought a Charizard card.
Oh, that's cool.
To send to him and be like, sorry, this is...
That's actually really cool.
Because I don't have
Look out.
the... Because I don't have the card he gave me.
God damn it, now you gotta do the whole thing over.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Speaking of Kung Fu, Aaron had a great story he told me on the plane.
Really?
Which one?
Aaron told me he had a guy across the street from him.
Oh my god.
No. What's more embarrassing?
Can I tell this story?
Well, first of all, let me correct you.
Can I tell Holly the story?
First of all, let me correct you on that. It's more embarrassing because he was actually like almost a neighborhood away.
Okay.
Like I went out of my way. Sorry. Don't.
Oh, I know the story.
Oh, I know this story makes me laugh so
Baby
hard.
Aaron.
Sweet baby Aaron. Please tell the story because I want to hear. I want it to be documented on the internet.
God damn.
I want it animated. Do it. Go. Story now.
All right. When I was really young, I knew this martial arts instructor who lived in like a neighborhood right next to mine. So I knew his daughter because his daughter went to the school that I went to. So I would go to their house, like all the way to their fucking house, and then I would take like a fucking broomstick, and I would act like I knew what I was doing in front of their house, like literally on their driveway.
Like Jedi.
hoping that they would come out, like hoping that one of them would come out and be like, "Let me teach you."
Wow.
That's funny.
No, but here's the thing, right? Like it obviously it never went anywhere.
Yeah.
And obviously, like if they knew I was there, they saw me. Like there's no way they'd fucking turn a blind eye to that.
That's amazing.
But here's the thing.
My kid's back.
Imagine the situation where that happened.
Yeah, like where you actually were like
that'd be
Bruce Lee in an interview, and you're just like, well, it all started when I used to walk miles in the snow to get to Mr. Randy's
like it sounds
house.
super stupid until it actually works.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna invest in this stock
Well,
market.
I think when I was a kid, I would I used to like have this animal trainer outfit.
Oh god.
So I would put on a like skin tight leopard print like jumpsuit that I somehow thought was like an animal trainer and a fake snake puppet.
Really?
And I would ride around my neighborhood on my bike with the snake puppet, like hoping that I would I don't know, I guess like find animals to train, but like of course I didn't.
Holly, I thought when I was a kid I wanted to be a paleontologist, and for the longest time I did until I learned that I was too pasty to go in the sun. But fucking like
That's tragic.
I used to go and like
Oh
take
wait, why am I green? I'm not green. You handed it to me.
When Jean and I were kids, I had Jean lie upside down on the bed so her head was hanging off the side of the bed. We filled her hair full of gel, and let it dry so she had hair like Vegeta. And we stuck a stocking with a bunch of like toilet paper stuffed in it as a tail, and we walked around the block like that.
That's amazing. Oh yeah, I made costumes out of trash all the time.
Yeah, like we thought we were fucking cool.
Yeah, I used to go to the store dressed as like Chip from Chippendale and like Peter Pan and a pterodactyl. That was one of my favorites.
When I wanted to be a paleontologist and I didn't get to tell my story.
Oh, sorry, Ross.
Go ahead, Ross.
I fucking
All right, Holly, what are we going for?
don't hug me. I mean, do hug me.
Whatever you want.
So I want to be a paleontologist so bad, and I thought that you found dinosaurs in ice. So I would take fucking like my toy dinosaurs and stuff them in glasses of water, and then put them in the freezer.
Oh, that's
And then
cute.
when I was like on a hot day, I'd bring the dinosaurs outside and chisel them out with a fork and pretend that I found the dinosaurs.
That's
awesome, though.
That's cute.
It was really fun, and I did it naked.
See, like, you didn't do it naked.
I did. I was fucking tiny.
Okay.
Finger painting and shit. Yeah, get fucked.
Herb, why?
Ooh, nice magazine. Dude,
Love.
that refilled your gauge?
Yep,
Oh my god, this one time, this is a story that happened to me.
Is it a 30-second story?
There was this kid I knew, and his name was Ryan, and we were walking to a LAN center to play Counter-Strike one day, and then along the road, along the pathway, we found just like a random ripped out page from like a really erotic pornography magazine.
Yeah.
And we were about 13, so Ryan like grabbed it and was like, "I found porno." This is like, you know, and like it was a little hard to get porno.
Yeah.
So I was like, he was like, "Whoa," and he like kept it, and I was like, "That's gross. Why are you keeping that like naked lady picture of her fiddling with her vagina?" Ooh. And then he goes, "Yeah, well, I'm gonna keep it." And I'm like, "Okay." And then months later, I go to his house, and he's like, "Hey, check out what I still got." And I go to grab it. And he's like, "Look what's on it," and it was covered in cum stains. And I was like, "Oh, fuck, dude, why are you giving me this shit?" He handed me his cum rag picture photo of a lady that he found on the pathway.
Why did you just out your friend Ryan?
Let's fuck him.
I had a teacher named Miss Batson in 5th grade, and one time she cut herself with scissors really deep. She's like, "Oh God, you can see the muscle!" And then she goes around showing it to everyone in class.
What a cool teacher.
I remember looking at it and being like,
That's like extreme teacher.
"Nah, she was cool. She was really, really nice."
Like wow.
Miss
That's like putting
Batson.
yourself above, like putting teaching above yourself.
I probably shouldn't have said her name.
It's just like it's like oh shit! Oh, this is a great opportunity.
This is
Here,
great.
children.
Yeah, no, she's cool. She was nice. It was elementary schools. I don't know, dude. Sometimes I miss those days. I remember there was a time where in kindergarten where you had to make leprechaun houses, right? Or leprechaun traps. That was like the project. So we'd make them, and they weren't probably functional. I mean, maybe they were what?
I just love the addition of probably.
No,
they probably weren't functional.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I never tested them.
No, wait. I mean, I didn't. I don't remember if they actually like you pulled a string and a thing fell. Or I mean, I forgot if they were functional at all. I think they were like a little bit they were a little bit functional. And
okay, when you say functional about a leprechaun trap,
I just mean like as if I don't know if we actually engineered that. Like our parents probably helped us. We were fucking 5. Like it was like.
no, I don't.
What?
When you say functional, I think.
No, not
so
to
they
actually.
didn't actually catch leprechauns.
No, I mean like I'm not sure if you could like spring the trap.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. You know what I'm talking about? Like I'm not sure it was just like a fake leprechaun traps or like they actually had like a mechanism where you'd cut the string and the door would fall. I don't remember. You with me here? Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Yeah, I got you.
I remember we left them in class, right? And then the teacher, I'm assuming it was the teacher, I don't think it was a leprechaun, put, like, sprung all our traps and, like, put candy in all of them. So as if the leprechaun came and, like, fell for every fucking trap.
He's just like, shit, hey, more candy.
Yeah, he's just, no, like, there was candy in there, so I guess as if, like, if you catch the leprechaun, he leaves you candy or something, like, I don't know, I guess that was the deal. But just imagine that leprechaun comes in like, look at all these fucking things. Oh, I'm trapped. Oh, look at that one. Oh, I'm trapped. but when I was a kid, I don't remember if I knew it was fake, but I was 5. It's on the verge of when you really, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember, but I remember, like, being like, oh, the leprechauns came. and it was just so magical.
It's like the Tooth Fairy or something.
It's
just
so
like,
magical.
You just get it as a kid. You just instantly get it.
What?
Like you just get the story, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just it writes itself in your mind, you know?
I think that was like the last before I started getting too old to like. That was like the time when I can remember it vividly, but still was too young to like. Because I think my mom tells me that I stopped believing in Santa Claus really quickly.
Really?
Yeah, she was like, "Yeah, you figure that shit out." She was like, "Santa brought it for you," and I was apparently like, "Bitch, you brought that shit for me. I get it." Haha, but thanks. I like my Nintendo.
And she's like, well, fuck it then.
She's like, I'm not even gonna give it to you next year.
Yeah,
fine.
You're gonna have an attitude about it.
That's what she tells me.
Give you fucking coal, dude.
These stars are everywhere! Get him away! Just trying to bat him away like gnats.
I told you that my mom has video footage of me when I was like 2 years old. I'd be in my driveway looking up at the moon and trying to like grab it. And I'd be like, I can get it! And then I'd jump like half an inch off the ground. And my mom was like, almost.
What if you just like did grab it and it disappeared from the sky and then your mom was like, what? What?
Yeah.
And you open your hand and it's there.
Yeah, and she realizes I'm like a demon baby and the choir starts off like, like the Omen.
And then like the rocks start to rise from the ground, you know? And you're like, I got it, Mom! I got it!
Yeah, I can now speak in full sentences. I'm 2 years old, but I'm like,
Mother, the blood of Christ compels me. More power stars, blah, 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 blah.
I've never been... I don't even want to speak of it.
Of being dumped?
Yeah, I've never. Have you?
No. Well... Nah, she doesn't count.
Oh.
It was like an internet sort of girlfriend when I was 13.
Where the fuck do I go? How many worms?
She was cool though. If she's like listening, I don't want her to think that I don't like her.
Oh, okay.
She was really neat. But she agrees that it doesn't count.
Oh shit, you guys talked about this?
Yeah.
You're like, does this count? No.
Well, it was like later. It was like 5 years later. She was like, I don't count that. And I was like, yeah, I guess I don't either.
About what? Wait, what?
Because we had like a 13-year-old internet relationship where we like
13.
drew in paint chat every day and was like,
Oh,
I think you're cool. And it's like, I think you're cool too.
That's cute. What happened? Just don't. Well.
I don't want to delve too much into it.
You know what?
But we just kind of knew. We were like, yeah, it's not.
You know what?
What?
I did when I was like when I was like 8 or something. I had this like girlfriend for like a day. It was like. And then,
I like you, me too. You want to get a milkshake?
No!
She dumped me because. Okay.
Because of your smelly penis?
Okay. I was mean to her brother. Like, I tricked him into thinking that I was gonna beat his Mario 64 file, but I wasn't actually doing that. I, like, just faked it or something or used my game, and he started crying. She was like, you're really mean. She called me in the room. She's like, you're really mean to my brother, and I think we're gonna have to break up.
Oh my god.
It was like, what? The same day! But I was like fucking like 7 or some shit. I think
You were 7?
7 or 8. It was really funny. Thinking, I was so, I was like, I didn't even fucking care. I was like, I didn't care. I'm gonna go fuck other bitches. 7-year-old. What if I got really?
There's plenty of pussy out there.
Honestly, I think there's only so much of an attachment you can get after about 7 hours dating someone. Even at age 7.
I love how that early you were already meeting her family. It's fun. It's, you know,
it's a long story. I don't want to go into.
No, it just shows how modern our times are. You know, it's like we just get straight to it. There's no bullshit.
There's
anymore.
a few details I'm leaving out to this story. But
there's a lot of details that all of us are leaving out of all of our relationship stories.
Yeah, I think so.
Can I just tell you before we do this?
Yeah.
Winner is the person who falls off the least.
okay. That's not how it works, but.
When I was about, I think I was 11. Me and my mum came in from shopping, and we got to our house, and the house that we lived in used to have like stairs up to it. And at the bottom of the stairs, there was this woman who had a baby's pram, but there was no baby in it.
What's a pram?
Like a stroller.
Oh, a stroller. Okay, got it.
And we were like, oh, that's weird. And she was talking to us, basically distracting us. We got up to the top of the stairs, walked into the house, and I saw a man, a stranger, staring at me, and he had my N64 in his hands, and he ran out the back door.
Whoa!
Yeah. So we got robbed, and pretty much the only thing that he took was my N64.
He left all the games?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, he didn't leave the games at all. He had my bag.
Oh.
With my N64 and my games in it.
Fucking terrible.
So he just like bolted?
Yeah.
That's
but
what
he
thieves
looked me in
do,
the
Aaron.
eye, and it freaked me out, obviously.
Yeah.
And so yeah, just know that you're giving me flashbacks if you don't let me win.
So the moral of the story
for my actions. Just start swinging fists wildly.
Yeah, I haven't been able to play this game because my N64 got robbed.
Holy shit! You never replaced it?
No, I got. Do you know what?
no.
I got replaced with a PS2.
Aaron, do we have a spare N64?
Well, you live in London, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he can't use it then.
No, that won't work.
Different, like,
Yeah, he uses PAL.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would. We have like 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's very kind of you.
They're like stacked.
I'll take some money.
Sure. You know what? That's kind of you to give us the option to give you money.
Yeah.
What a man. What a man. What a mighty good man. He's a mighty good man. What a man, what a man, what a man.
That song used to make my, like, that was like when I was just hitting puberty.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, oh, they're dancing so strangely.
Did funny things happen?
Yeah.
Down under?
In my pantaloons. It's like,
I don't know why, but as soon as you said that song used to make my, I was like, there's no other way to go with that.
yeah. Used to make my pee-pee get excited.
That's really funny. I'm trying to think of, like, do you remember your, like, first boner? I mean, I know they happen when you're, like, a baby, but, like, do you remember the first conscious, like, whoa?
Not my first boner, but, oh shit, yeah.
Blog worthy.
Not my first boner, but, my first J.O. I remember that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, sure.
I squeezed it, I like, gave it an Indian burn.
Yeah, we've discussed this.
Like a fire hose.
We both had poor techniques when we started.
Wasn't yours you, like, humped the floor or something?
No, was that Ross that humped the floor? I can't remember.
Maybe.
I tried to, like, put my hands around it and, like I was starting a fire.
You were starting a fire.
Yeah, a 5-alarm fire in
on
my
the
pants.
inside.
It was terrible.
One time I went to Chuck E. Cheese when I was a kid. Yeah. And he held out his hand because they can't talk, you know.
Yeah.
And then I gave him a high five, and he made like a no motion. He was like, no. And then he was like, put his hand out again, and I was like, what? And then. What? And he wanted my skee ball because I was skee balling, and he wanted to like throw a ball, and I was like, all right. And I gave it to him, and he fucking missed.
Yeah.
And he just walked away.
Are you serious?
And I was like, you're a jackass.
Are you serious?
You're a fucking asshole.
That happened?
You're Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese came up to you, squandered your fucking skee ball, and just walked away.
I'm a
like,
child. It's not like I am now where I'm like, oh, I'll drop fucking $20 at an arcade. I probably had like $3.
Yeah, you're right.
And I was like, I'm gonna play my one token on skee ball, and he just steals my ball, misses, walks away.
I love how he just misses and goes, well, that really sucks, dude. Well, I'll see you later, you know?
Complete as many quizzes as possible for times runs out. All right, let's
That's
do
a
this.
really funny story. Is that true?
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
I can't believe he would be allowed to do that.
What is this?
Doesn't it seem like you wouldn't be allowed to do that?
5 and 9.
Maybe we just pissed at the kids. Or a complete idiot. Why does Chucky come up every time?
Yeah. And it's a child cheering instead of him.
By the way,
he has a voice box in his throat.
Can I just say this game is called counting? We've reached a new low.
I don't know. I don't speak any language other than English.
But you used to know Hebrew.
I did. Hebrew was my first language when I was like a little baby, and I've completely forgotten all of it.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
So if I was like, you'd be like...
I'd be like, that's very offensive. Go fuck yourself.
Well, I mean...
I remember like the songs my dad used to sing to me, like as a kid, like to help me go to sleep and stuff.
Yeah? Like what?
Like Noomi Noomi.
Noomi Noomi? You mean the dance that guy did?
No, that's Numa Numa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This goes like...
I can't imagine that was very relaxing to go to sleep to.
That did not help me sleep. Like, Dad, stop. Go to bed.
Bästa slästa,
No, like it goes like Numi adalti, Numi. And like there's another part, but yeah, as soon as like it became such a Pavlovian response that as soon as he started singing that, I'd be like,
yeah.
Oh,
Interesting.
God, I can't believe I still remember that. It's been like 30 years.
Did your dad do that? Like, if you're doing something physical, like carrying something really heavy, and then like, if you just kind of like bump into a wall, they're like, "Watch it!"
My dad really never got too mad at me. Except...
Wait a second!
Yeah.
I blacked that out!
Yeah.
Shit.
Damn.
I landed in the spikes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't fair.
Except for the very, very specific time I remember when my dad was tired of shoveling, and we had like a really, really heavy winter in New Jersey, and like there was just like a
Winter's coming.
Yeah. Oh, winter fucking came that year. I think it was like 94, 96. That was it. And there was like...
It's really hot, dude.
So dumb. So yeah, like that winter, like he there was just one giant snowstorm after another. So my dad just got tired of shoveling all the time, and he was like, he bought a snowblower, and it was like the biggest fucking deal to him. He was so excited, and I managed to destroy it in 30 seconds.
How did you do that?
Well, because like,
what is wrong with you?
I was sort of young, and like I didn't have like the same like. I just was stupider, and I didn't have the same body control that I have now and all that. So like, he was like, "Dan, I'll let you use the snowblower, but be careful, okay? Because it's you've never used one." I was like, "Oh, I think I know how to use a snowblower." Like I was so fucking like, I was nicely done. Way to land in victory on the things that kill you.
Oh yeah, sure. No, I'm invincible after I kill people, so that's,
okay,
it's
cool.
video game rules. Video game logic! Whoa! Die on spikes, but win against Sky! Don't die on spikes! That's a meme for your Reddit.
Oh goodness. So yeah, like we so he put me in charge of the snowblower, and he walks inside, and like, you know, it's got a long cord that like connects inside the house or to a power source or whatever. And my first like thing that I do is run right over the cord. So it's like and it sucks up the entire cord and fucking destroys the mechanism forever.
Oh man, you're an idiot.
Oh dude, I felt like it too. And I had to like walk into the house and tell my dad that I just destroyed his pride and joy new thing while he was still removing his jacket from outside. So he had to simultaneously deal with the pain of losing, like going back outside, losing this thing he liked a lot and was looking forward to, and also the realization that his fucking son is an idiot.
Well, I think he already knew that.
Yeah, he was already at peace with that.
He was like, Dan, don't fuck up now. Okay, Daddy. People are probably gonna think you're weird for calling your mom Deb.
I feel like I've explained it once or twice before.
Really?
Well, yeah, because, I mean, I've always called my parents by their first names, just because I kind of learned how to speak before anyone taught me, so I just called people by what I heard other people calling them.
Yeah.
So, like...
Which seems like a lot, like it should happen a lot more commonly.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what happened, but that's why I call my grandma Mom, because I heard my mom calling her Mom. So, my grandma's Mom, and my granddad's Pop, and my mom's Debbie.
Wow.
Yeah. Or Doobles. Or Doobles McDooblestein, as she's come to be known.
So if
Doobs for short.
So if nobody did all that shit by like Generation 3, everybody would just be calling each other by their names.
Yeah, why not? I remember other parents at like PTA meetings, like if I'd be like, "Hey Debbie," that all the other parents would be like,
yeah, like is he adopted? Or, yeah,
it's so disrespectful.
Is he from a different marriage?
And she was like, "It's just a fucking sound. Why don't you release the sphincters?"
He's wiggling his butt. He's like, "No, don't grab my heel.
Don't send me right into the fucking water."
Yeah, there you go.
Into the water.
I
You,
like
go,
that
you
shit.
cool off.
That's
That's like something your dad yells at you.
Go in the water and cool off, okay?
Yeah.
I'm sick of your shit.
You take 5 minutes.
Why don't you take 5 minutes, Dad?
Yeah.
I'm just being facetious. You're the angry one.
That was the best. My dad never hit me, but he could yell. He could yell, and there would be times like that where he'd just be like, oh man, I can't think of a good one, but he used to yell shit at me all the time, and I'd just be like, whatever, and like pretend to like not be mad, but I was super mad.
You mean when he would like tell you to do stuff?
Yeah, and like
he could be like, stay in your room, and you're like, I don't even care.
Yeah, I wanted to stay in my room.
I don't even have a problem with that notion!
Go ahead with all my video games in here! I'll just play my video games!
Fine then, fine!
Sure! Yeah, and like later, like half an hour later, everything would calm down. Well, he'd calm down. I'd still be hot, and he'd be like, Dan, have you calmed down? And I'm like, yes!
Yep, fine!
Everything's good! I'm not crying! Somebody put tears on my pillow!
That's what I'm actually mad about!
Who put all these tears here?
Oh, that's awesome.
God, we've all been there, man.
Oh my God, it's weird. Like thinking back to like having those tantrums.
It's so weird because like
it's so beyond what you would do now.
Yeah. Like now I would just like seethe and kill someone at the post office.
Now I wouldn't scream. I'd just
See, what I like to do now as an adult is take all that anger and frustration, push it down deep inside of me until it becomes a seething white core of pure hate. And then just one day I let it explode on someone who doesn't deserve it.
I'll just drive it towards my index finger while holding a handgun.
Oh Lord, that's funny.
Oh my
What was?
god.
Oh, one time my sister like walked in on me and like I was in the kitchen and I'd just been watching the episode where Trunks like turns into Super Saiyan and freezes men, like
like,
shoot him,
where is this going?
shoot at him, and then he like just puts his hand up and like the like energy blasts like hit his hand and they just kind of bounce off and like choo choo, and they're like, oh, he caught the bullets and just they didn't do anything. So I was just like, man, that was so cool. Like, if I caught an energy blast, like, what would that look like? And I was doing it in the kitchen, just going choo choo, like pretending to catch energy blasts.
No one was
And I
home?
didn't realize that my sister was home, and she was just standing by the fridge, watching me go like choo 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 choo, like catching bullets. And I just hear, "What the fuck are you doing?"
No,
and
you have
I'm
to
just
do it in
like,
her accent.
"What the fuck are you doing?"
Oh my god, it's good.
You're like, oh, just fucking around.
Hello, this is Rebecca.
Oh my god.
That's so funny.
I'm from Australia.
I did it.
Yeah, but see, if you did that now in our office, I'd be like, dude, are you doing Dragon Ball Z?
I know.
Fuck yeah, what are you doing?
I think I tweeted this a while ago. I was just like thinking about it. Like, what? You know how you always try to
come
do a
on.
Kamehameha?
Yeah.
What if you actually did? Your parents would be so pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
You'd put a fucking hole through the entire house.
Oh, see, that's the thing.
Yeah, I'm having
That's
issues.
the difference between a true
I'm
believer.
pulling the thing back further.
That's
That's the
what
difference
was
between a
happening.
true
I was
believer and a poser.
having the
Because
monster shakes.
When I
There's a hole in
fucking
the middle. Be careful.
was trying to do a Kamehameha when I was
outside?
younger, I did it outside and pointed at the
Kinda
sky.
worked.
Are you
'Cause-
serious?
Yeah, because I was like, dude, if I actually do it, I don't want to hurt somebody.
Wow,
Dude,
that's
amazing.
a considerate kid.
That's
Yeah, well,
pretty
I mean-
considerate.
God,
I thought I was really gonna do it.
We were
we all had such active imaginations.
It wasn't imagination. I was set to do this.
Oh my god. It's like how I thought I was going to Hogwarts. I was waiting for my letter and it never came.
A friend of mine,
Aw, man.
dude, I
Aw.
watched the episode of Dragon Ball Z where Gohan teaches Videl how to. We watched it recently in the car together.
Yeah, yeah.
We were waiting in a parking lot. So like, it's this episode where like Gohan's like, okay, Videl, this is how you do it, and he sits down and shows her how to create energy in his hand, and the minute I saw that episode, everyone at school was trying to do it. And like, basically like, one guy discovered that if you just hold your hands really stiff, like for a really long time, to the point that they're like too tense, and you let go, you get this kind of like electric feeling because your joints are just like, that kind of hurt. And everyone's like, I think I did it.
Aw.
Oh my god.
Man.
Oh man.
I have so many Dragon Ball Z stories from when I was a kid.
That's so funny.
I was
Mine was
into it.
just like Harry Potter.
Well, I mean, I also like used to wear vampire fangs to the grocery store and stuff when I was a kid because I thought I was a vampire.
That's amazing. I mean, I used to dress up for
you might
everything.
break it.
Like
Yeah.
anything I could dress up for.
Oh, that's a
I used
thing?
to wear my
Yeah.
Renaissance fair clothes like to school. I would wear a cloak.
Yeah.
I'd wear a
Can we have
cloak.
a do-over on that one? I didn't understand the rules.
It's okay.
Oh, Summer's still on it. Summer's still on it.
Oh, we're still good. Okay.
Man,
Who's next?
we all would have been friends.
Holly is first.
All would have been friends. When we
No,
were
I wouldn't be
Holly's
friends with
next.
any of you
Holly's
dorks.
first.
Holly's next.
Holly's first.
I'm too cool. I was like the coolest kid in school. I wasn't.
Before this episode started, you were like, "Hey man, have you ever barfed on a family member?"
Oh yeah.
As a matter of fact, I haven't. Have you? And you're like, yeah. I barfed on my mom. So why don't you share that tale as we ride?
That's not a tale. It's just saying it is funny.
It
and
is
then when
funny.
it's like there's a story, it's like, I don't know, I was barfing, and then my mom was like, here, barf into my hand so it doesn't get all over the floor.
Oh, that's really... Wait, that's weird. But that's sweet, too.
Well, she was like rushing me to the toilet so I could barf into the toilet.
Here, barf into my hand.
But she was like, no, and trying to block. Well, she wasn't like, here, son, this is where you should barf. You're going, no, you're gonna fall off the cliff.
Oh my god,
Go
you're right.
left.
Yeah.
She wasn't like, here, in my noble hand. She was just like, oh god, and like trying to catch it.
My dad would have been the exact opposite. He would have just like held me by the collar, like at a full arm extension, and just been like, "Go ahead, as long as you don't barf on my tracksuit."
Barf all over the place.
I love it. Why do I have my bow? Okay, there we go.
If I had like $10 million, I'd be like, all right, I'm good.
That's the thing, man. Like, it's just weird. Like, my uncle, like, was like, listen, kiddo, like, you think you make $1 million and that's it, you'll be fine. But to live the way you think a millionaire lives, you actually need closer to like $10 to $12 million.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I made 300. And I was like, oh, sweet, $300. Oh, dude. Have you ever been in like natural hot springs?
Yeah, once.
Really?
Yeah, I was in Japan.
They're the
and,
best, aren't they? I was at, same uncle, actually. I was out on a road trip with him through the desert in Death Valley and like all parts of California and Nevada. It was when I was like, I had taken some time off college because I was going through some stuff, and I was like, it'd be better if I wasn't here right now trying to learn.
Yeah.
And so like we took a road trip together, and it was awesome, but like you're out there and you're like just hundreds of miles from any kind of civilization, you know? So like anyone you run into out there, like they can do terrible things to you and never be caught, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like and you'll never be found and all that sort of thing. So we're out there, it's my uncle, myself, and his 2 dogs, and we stop at these like natural hot springs, and then like while we're there, it's like nighttime and we're just hanging out, and this dude just comes out of nowhere. Like there's no cars anywhere, like I have no idea where he came from. And like I didn't get a bad vibe because like I'm like, you know me, like I'm unusually trusting of strangers, you know? Like I was like, hey, a new friend! Hello, desert friend!
Why do you brandish a knife before me?
Yeah, but like my uncle, I guess, had an immediate bad vibe from him, and the guy was like, hey, your dog's friendly? And my uncle, like without a trace of like humor, was like, no. Meanwhile, like they're the friendliest dogs in the world. And the guy was like, oh, okay. And then he left. He just disappeared like over a hill and was gone again. And I was like, that was weird, but we didn't talk about it again. Like 10 years later, my uncle told me, because we slept in like the pickup truck, you know, we just like put blankets and pillows down. And my uncle was like, yeah, just so you know, I slept with a handgun under the pillow that night. I was like, oh my fucking god.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I had a retroactively stressful hot spring experience. But
damn, dude.
Yeah, that was a wild trip, man. Like, cause I had blue hair at the time.
Where was it?
That was
blue hair.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
When I was.
You always told me you wanted to dye your hair blue, but.
Oh, I know. I wanted to dye my hair blue again.
Oh.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember if I had blue dreadlocks, but I definitely had blue hair and dreadlocks in the same year. Not my best year, frankly. In terms of looking hot.
Next time on Game Grumps.
Oh, okay. I got more stories from that trip.
All right.
Okay.
More stories next time on Game
Okay,
Grumps.
bye.
It's the hook. It's the cliffhanger.
It's intense. No, so my uncle and I were driving through the desert, and one of the many weird adventures we had, we had some kind of like car problem, and we pulled over. I'm talking the middle of nowhere, and like there's just this dude and his shack, and like he has like some car parts outside, so we're like, he probably can fix things, and we go into his shop, and there's like just, god damn it, Aaron.
Oops.
Okay, load game. Okay, so this old dude, like real salt of the earth kind of guy. His name was Jusky, and like,
whoa, that is a name.
It is cool. And my uncle, of course, like plays the part. Like he's from New Jersey, like the rest of my family, but like if he drives into the desert, he's wearing cowboy boots and a cowboy hat and a leather jacket and all that. So Jusky has no problem with him, but I have like possibly dreadlocks, definitely blue hair, and like I look like nothing he's ever seen before. And he keeps like giving me like the awkward eye, as Eminem used to say, and it just keeps looking over, and I'm like, "Hi, Jusky," you know, like super nice, and he's like, eh. And yeah, and I'm pretty sure like he's about to call like the I don't know, the local chapter of the Klan on me or something. And my uncle who can read these situations really well, just immediately is like, "Oh yeah, you're probably looking at my nephew's hair, but he's a good boy, loves his Jesus, goes to church every Sunday." And Jusky's like, oh, all right. And like from that moment on, he was totally cool with me. And meanwhile, inside, I'm like, "What's church?"
Daddy!
Yeah, it was really funny. But it was one of those very interesting moments in my life where like, damn.
Just wanted to put him to sleep.
Yeah. There's very few times, because I mean like, you know, if you're Jewish, like you experience anti-Semitism and stuff, but like, it's not as difficult. Well, I shouldn't say it's not as difficult, but like, it's not immediately recognizable. Like racism, if you're an African American person and you walk into a room, everyone knows, you know, that you're African American. But like, Judaism, like in a lot of cases, you know, like they don't know until you tell them. In which case they're like, you just like a lying, sneaky Jew, not to. I'm just kidding. So I'd never experienced like straight hatred from someone I'd never said a word to before, you know? Like that was a real interesting experience. And then to just watch it like completely drain away as soon as he found out that I was down with the J-Man.
Dude, I'm down with the J-Man.
You mean Jesus, right? Not Jew-Man, the superhero.
No, Jesus, my gardener.
Oh, real nice, Aaron. I'm just... Jesus Christ.
What? He's a nice guy.
I would wager to say that I don't even know what an Acropolis is.
Acropolis is like a raised, hilly area, I believe.
I once went to an Acropolis.
Now that I give you the definition, you're like, oh yes, I have once been to an Acropolis.
No. I went there with my dad. He shot a goat. And
was he just being a dick?
And no, it was an area.
Was it in self-defense?
It was in an area specifically made for goat shooting. And then I took a bath and I went home.
In the goat's blood, I hope.
No, it was nearby the goat's blood, though. It wasn't directly related. By the way, I'm lying.
Fuck off!
None of this story is
You're from
true.
Tampon, Florida. I don't know the shit that goes on there. You guys just all vote for George Bush weird. That's all you guys do.
Oh yeah, you know. Vote for George Bush weird. 2014.
A Florida tradition.
Now I know my last name is Weird.
What?
Literally, it's weird.
What are you talking?
George Bush weird?
Next time on Game Grumps. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for squashing my fucking love for